Namo Buddhaya. One of you have asked from us, how can we kill the laziness? How can we do the things without laziness? Okay, today from this Ina Gaij Q&A program, we are going to discuss that how can we do the things without the laziness and how can we kill the laziness. To kill the laziness and to do the things without laziness, to stop being lazy in our works, our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us that you should have 4 great qualities. If you have these 4 great qualities within you, you will never feel lazy in your works. You will never feel lazy when you are doing meditations. You will never feel lazy when you are doing studies. To accomplish anything, any special goal in your life, you need to have these 4 great qualities. So what are those great qualities? These are known as Four Iddhipadas. The first great quality, the first Iddhipada that you need to have to accomplish anything in your life and to do the things without laziness is called Chanda. What do you mean by Chanda? Chanda means the desire. If you have the desire for doing something, in one way or another, you are going to do that because you like it, you love it. If you love what you do, or if you do what you love, you will never feel lazy. Now, suppose that you are going a trip or a picnic tomorrow. So tonight, when you are going to bed, you never feel sleepy. You never feel lazy because your mind is excited and you love that day, that coming tomorrow. So you are going to be happy in that day. So if you are doing something that is you like, that you are passionate about, you will never feel lazy. So what you have to do? To kill the laziness, to do the things without the laziness, you need to generate the desire for doing that. If you are doing meditations, you need to have a desire for doing that. Without the desire, if you do the meditations and do the spiritual practices without the desire, you will feel lazy. That is the first great quality, Chanda. Here comes the second one. It's called the Citta. Citta means the mindset. You need to have the determination and you should have the correct mindset to do the thing that you want. You need to have a great determination that I will do this thing today. Right? You need to have that mindset of not giving up. If you have the correct mindset to do something, you will never feel lazy. Because you are well focused to that. Your mind is focused to what you are doing. When your mind is focused to something, you don't feel lazy anymore. You don't feel giving up anymore. You don't feel bored anymore. So what you have to do? You need to have a correct mindset to do that work. Then you will never feel lazy. That is the second step. Third step, and the third great quality, that's called the Viriya. Viriya means effort. To do something, to achieve any good goal in your life, you need to give some effort to that. You need to dedicate yourself. You need to sacrifice your time, your life, your blood and sweat to do that. Then only you can achieve that. When you are dedicated for something, when your mind is dedicated for something, you will never feel lazy. So what you have to do? You need to dedicate yourself and you need to try hard in your works. Try hard in your studies. You should never give up in your meditations. Then you will never feel lazy. Because you are committed to that. You are dedicated to your work. That is the third step. That is the third great quality. Here comes the fourth great quality. That is the final one. It's called the Vimamsa. Vimamsa means investigation. You need to investigate what are the ways that I can do my work easily. What are the ways that I can be more productive in my work? If you investigate yourself in your work, then you can kill the laziness. Because sometimes we do the things that we don't love and that we don't like. If you have the power of investigation, that what are the things that I like to do? What are the things that my heart feels free to do? If you do those things, you will never feel lazy. So what you have to do? You need to have these 4 great qualities. First one is called Chanda, the desire. Second one, Citta, the mindset. Third one, Viriya, the effort. And the final one, Vimamsa, the investigation. So if you have these 4 great qualities, you can do the things without the laziness and you can kill the laziness in your life. So practice these qualities and escape from the laziness and be happy in your life. Namo Buddhaya.
I know it is very difficult to forget the past memories. I know it is very difficult to forgive yourself for the things that you have done in the past. But at the end of our life, at the end of our day, what we all need is nothing but just the peace in our mind. But in order to find that peace, we need to let go of that past memory, let go of that things that hurt us. But how? Is there a way to find that peacefulness within our mind? Well, let's discuss about it in this video. If you look at the past memories, I heard this nice quote about the past memories. It says, thinking about and worrying about past is like dragging a boat on a dry land. Okay? Now, where we can use the boat, we can use it on water. But if you try to drag that boat onto dry land and take it with you to wherever you go, what will happen to you? It will become a burden to you. It will hurt you. It is so heavy. And there is no use in the same place, right? You cannot use the boat on the dry land. Okay? Holding on to past memories is also like that, right? There is no use of it, right? We are not letting that past memory to be in the correct place, but taking it to wherever we go and every place that we go, and it will keep hurting us. So what we can do to forgive ourselves and let go of that past memory? Well, there are certain things that you can do. One of the most important things that you have to realize in this world is that not everything in this world is totally under our control. There are people around you, okay? There are things around you. There are certain things that is happening around you, but not everything, not every one of them is totally under your control, okay? We have to deal with it, but it is out of our control. How people treat you, you cannot do anything about it. How people think about you, you have no control over it. How people talk to you, how people behave in front of you, the things that is happening in this environment, in the nature, there are things that is out of our control, okay? If we try and if you realize that this is the truth, okay, I cannot do anything about it, should I worry about them? Then you come to the conclusion that I don't want to worry about it because it is out of my range, okay? So this is one reality that you have to understand. The world is not totally under your control. Why? Because we are so busy in our life trying to control the things that are around ourselves that are out of our control. Okay? So realize that not everything is under your control. And the next thing that you have to do is, this might surprise you. Now, a lot of people are trying to forget the past memory. Okay? I would say, don't try to forget past memories. Okay? Don't try to do it. What will happen if you try to do it? The more you try to forget something, the more it will haunt your mind. Isn't that true? Just do it practically, right? Try to forget something, it will come back to your mind. Okay? I would say, rather than trying to forget the past memory, I would say, let it fade away from your life. Okay? Let it fade away. How to do it? Fading away is happening with time. Okay? It takes time. It's something like healing a wound. Okay? To heal a wound, it takes time. Okay? So what we have to do is, we have to give less attention to that memory. Okay? Now, most of the time, what happens in us is, when past memories haunt us, we give so much attention to it. We give so much awareness to it and think like, this is the biggest tragedy in my life. This is the biggest mistake that I have done in my life. Now my life is worse. Okay? The more we give attention to something, it will grow. That is the nature of the mind. The Buddha said, the more you give attention to something, these kind of thoughts come again and again to your mind. So what we have to do is give less attention to it. But how? Okay? Now, so many of you say it is very easy for you to say that give less attention to it. But it is very difficult. I know, it is very difficult. But there's one thing that we can do. We can identify that thought as a thought. Okay? Let's say these past memories, they are always the thoughts inside our mind. Okay? And also there are certain good memories and happy memories. All of them are just thoughts. Okay? The only difference between these hurtful memories, past memories, and the good memories is the way we look at that thought. Okay? The perspective towards that thought. If we can identify, this is just a thought, there's no difference. Okay? It will come to our mind and this will fade away and this will pass away with the time. So I must give some time to my mind to let my mind heal. When you do that, the past memories will start to fade away little by little. Why? Because you are giving less attention to it. Okay? Then there will be a day that comes, then you come to a conclusion and you will realize that these past memories are no longer hurting you. Okay? In my life, I had bad memories. Okay? The reason why I'm telling this is because I've been in the same situation as you guys. Okay? There was so many past bad memories and mistakes that I have done in the past, but when we give less attention to that, it will fade away. Okay? Then you will be okay with those past memories. So that is what I have to share with you in this video. So just let your past memories fade away from your life. Learn from your past, learn from your tears, and let your tears water the seeds of your future success. Keep that in your mind.
Welcome to yet another episode in Ina Gaij Q&A program. Today we are going to talk about how to deal with past memories. They are the memories that are holding us back and destroying our present moment and our future. So how can we deal with these past memories? First of all, I will tell you a nice story. In the Buddhist time, there was a murderer. Now, he wasn't just a murderer, he was a serial killer. He killed thousands and thousands of people. And do you know what he did to those dead people? He cut a finger from each one of them and he made a garland out of that fingers. And he wore that garland around his neck. So his name was Angulimala, the person who wears the garland of fingers. With the help of the great Supreme Buddha, he became an innocent person again. Before becoming a serial killer. He was just an innocent boy. But with the bad companionship, he became a serial killer. So with the Buddha's help, he became an innocent person again, and he became a monk. After that, he realized the teachings of the Buddha and he became enlightened. The reason for his enlightenment was he did not let his past to define who he is, right? He did not regret about what he has done in the past. Instead, he focused on the present moment. The Buddha advised Angulimala, after becoming a monk, think of yourself as a newly born person, a new person, and do not let your past to define who you are. So he did meditations and he practiced the path of the Buddha and he became enlightened. So that was the little story. So what we can take from this little story? If you're holding onto the past and if you're letting your past to define who you are, right, you will never be the person that who you want to be. So remember, mistakes can happen by anyone. We make mistakes. That is why we are known as humans. Okay? So mistakes can happen. Even the good people make mistakes. That doesn't mean that they need to suffer and they need to regret about the things for the whole life. Right? We make mistakes, and what we have to do, we have to focus on the present moment. Think of yourself, now I have done a mistake in the past, but now what should I do to become a good person? When you think of that, you're focusing on the present moment. That is what you have to do. Every time you're regretting about the past memories, the things that has happened in the past, you are touching the wound of yourself. You know, the miserable moments that has happened in the past is like a wound. It takes time to heal. So if you keep on touching into that wound, it will never be healed. So what you have to do? Should you forget the past? Of course not. You should not forget the past, and you cannot forget the past. Remember, the more you try to forget the past, the more it will haunt your memories again and again. So what you have to do? You have to let your miserable and painful past memories to just fade away from your life, right? So to do that, you should not give much attention to the past miserable, painful memories, right? When we are not giving any attention to something, chances are very high for it to fade away from our memories. So what you have to do, just do not give any attention to those past memories, okay? And that is why our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us in Baddhekaratta Sutta, Atitang nanva gameya nappati kanke anagatang. Do not dwell on the past. Nappati kanke anagatang. Do not dream too much on the future. Yadati tang pahinatang apattancha anagatang. The past has gone now. It is over. And the future hasn't yet come. And Buddha said, Paccupannancha yo dhammang tattha tattha vipassati. You have to focus on the present moment and do what is right here, right now. So do not let the past to define who you are, and focus on the present moment and think, what can I do to become a better person now? Admit your faults. Learn from your past. Do not make it a wound and a painful situation. Just learn from it, right? And then you can think, what should I do to become a better person right here, right now? Right? When you do the good things and when you do the right thing in the present moment, your past will be a good one and your future will be also a good one. So what you have to do, you only own this present moment. Always keep it in your mind, right? The moment that you only own is this moment, right? In the past, what has happened in the past, you cannot control it. What is going to happen in the future, you have no control about that. What you have in your hand is this present moment. So focus on the present moment, do the good things, be a good person, and your future will be a better one. Your past will be a better one also. So practice the Buddha's teachings and stay in the present moment. This is a special Ina Gaij video that is dedicated to the little daughter who had asked a question from us. She had mentioned in her comment that she has a big problem with laziness, and also her exams are near, so she is in a big stress. And also, she said that she no longer finds a value in her life. I think most of the people, most of us have these kind of questions. Okay, let's start with the first question. She had said that she has a big problem with laziness and sleepiness. I know that getting up early in the morning and sitting for studying and doing the studies is a little bit of a hard thing to do when you are a student especially. First of all, let me introduce you to the inspiring words of the Supreme Buddha. Supreme Buddha said, Sukharani asadhuni attano ahitani cha. It is very easy to do evil things, the things that brings the unhappiness or the suffering or the regret to our life. Supreme Buddha said, Yangve hitangcha sadhungcha tangve paramadukkaram. If there is something that brings us the happiness to our life, if there is something that makes us proud about ourselves, doing such things is a really, really hard thing. So, getting up early in the morning and sitting for studies is a hard thing to do. Why? Because if you do that, it brings the happiness to your life. Right? Studying, educating yourself brings the happiness to your life. So, most of the people, they find hard to get up early in the morning. Now, we all like that fluffy and comfy and warm feeling that we feel on the bed in the morning. So when you open your eyes in the morning, your mind says, just stay another 5 minutes. And that's the point that you are making the mistake. Your mind, you listen to your mind, you listen to what your mind says. When your mind says, just stay another 5 minutes more, it's okay, it's not a problem. That is where you make the mistake. And that 5 minutes will last long for another hour. And when you get up after an hour, you start your mind, the same mind that told you to stay on the bed for 5 minutes will complain you. You are not studying. It will say that you are going to fail the exams. That is how our mind lies us. That is how our mind tricks us. So when you get up in the morning, when you open your eyes in the morning, right? When your mind says to stay on the bed for another 5 more minutes, do not listen to that. Do not listen to that lie. Get up and refresh yourself and start studying early in the morning. There's a great quote that I remember all times when, even in my life, when I'm going through hard times, I remember this quote. It says, it is a wonderful quote. It says, if you do what is easy today, your life will be hard tomorrow. Let me repeat that again. If you do what is easy today, your life will be hard tomorrow. But if you do what is hard today, your life will be easy tomorrow. So getting up early in the morning is a hard thing. But if you do that hard thing, remember, your life will be easy. But if you stay on the bed for another 5 minutes, doing what is easy, your life will be hard tomorrow. So get up early in the morning. Do you know how long you're going to feel the hardship of getting up early in the morning? Do you know how many days that you are going to find very hard to get up in the morning? Only for 3 weeks. If you get up early in the morning and start studying in the morning for 3 weeks, remember, only for 3 weeks, it will make a habit to your life. And after that 3 weeks, you will never find it hard. It will become a habit. You don't want to think about it again and again. It will become a day-to-day practice. So do that, although you feel hard, for 3 weeks and see the result. That is the answer for first question. And let's go for the second question. She had mentioned that her exams are near, so she's stressed and she's unfocused. Her mind is clumsy. So what is the answer for this? Remember, now when the exams are near, it is the normal nature that we feel frustrated, distracted, unfocused, and clumsy. That is the normal nature, right? So I need you to do one thing. This is a special thing to do when the exams are near, right? Focus on one thing at a time to study, right? Focus on a single thing at a time to study. Study for 20 minutes, right? When you're studying, just forget all the other things that you have to study. Now, normally when we start to study, we find that there are so many things that we have to study in a short time. Now, the more you remember these things, the more your mind will regret. The more your mind will start to become clumsy. So I need you to do this thing. When you're studying, just forget about all the other things that you have to study. Just think, now I have to study only this thing. There's nothing that I have to study more. Just focus on that and study for maybe 20 minutes and take a break for 5 minutes. This is called the Pomodoro technique. I think it is well known. So study for 20 minutes, well focused, and give yourself a little bit of a break for 5 minutes and start studying again. And focus on the special points in your studies, right? And now, when the exams are near, if you haven't studied, right? So I know you're regretting in your mind. So, if you didn't make through the exam, I'm using the word if, right? If you did not make through your exams, I need you to do this thing. What is that? Never, ever give up studying. At some point in our life, we will lose our balance and we will fall down. We will go through hard situations, right? We will fall down in our life, but get back up and try again. You will fall for the first time. You will fall for the second time. You will fall for the fourth time, fifth time. Though you fall for the 1,000,000th time, what you have to do is get back up and try again. As humans, we should never give up in our studies and in our success. So, if you did not make through the exams, do not quit your studies. Do not quit your education. Right? Get back up and try again, and one day, you will find that you have been success. And let's go for the third question. She said that she no longer finds a value to in her life. Remember, as humans, we are born to this world to add a value to our life. When we come to this world, we brought nothing. We had nothing. We knew nothing. But as humans, we have to add a value to this life. Right? Study well, start loving others, start loving your parents. And if you cannot study for yourself, right? If you cannot work for yourself, work for the people who loves you. There are so many people around you who loves you, who have dedicated their life on behalf of yourself. Right? They are your parents. Try to bring a smile to your parents' face saying, Mom, Dad, I made it. One day you should do this. So if you did not give up, you will be success one day. But if you quit, if you give up your education, if you give up in your goals, it is very sure you will fail. Therefore, never give up. Work for yourself as well as work for the people who love you most. Right? Bring a smile to their face. Right? The only thing that you have to do in your position as a child, as a student, is to study only. You don't want to earn money. You don't want to look after the babies. There's nothing to do. Only thing that you have to do is to study. Do that. But never give up. That is what I have to share in this special video. So I wish that daughter and all of you have the same questions in your life. May you be well and happy. May you live long. May you live a happy life. And may all of your dreams come true. And may all of you realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation.